Hello, my friend. Welcome to Breakfast with Sergio, episode number 283. Today is Q&A Thursday. I'm going to answer the question that I've been asked many times, which is, Sergio, I do many styles and many mediums. I cannot hone in into one. What can I do? So that's the question, and today I'm going to help you answer it. Well, hello, my friend. Welcome to Breakfast with Sergio. Super happy to be here. Cheers to an awesome, beautiful Thursday. Well, today I want to answer a question that has been sent out to me multiple times, many times throughout the years, which is, Sergio, I know I've been told many times that I should hone in into one style, that I should do one thing, but I can't. I do many styles, or I like to do many things, or many mediums. What can I do? So that's a great question, and I think it is a valid question because throughout your career you have heard, and maybe you have heard me say as well, to hone in into something, deep versus wide, and I have said it many times too. Go deep versus wide, right? And as you go into your art career and as you mature in your art career, right, there's a certain style or aesthetic or way of working or ideas which kind of become your voice, become your uniqueness, become the way in which people get to know you, the way in which people get to recognize you, get to see you, where when somebody sees your work would say, oh, that is one of Mike's work, or that's one of Mary's work, or that's one of Sergio's works, right? And here, kind of like the best example of that is a number of years ago. For example, I was working in my computer and I got an email from a friend of mine that says, hey, Sergio, I saw your image printed on a brochure, and I don't know if it's yours, but it really looks like your style and the thing that you do. I just wanted to give you a picture in case you didn't know about it, in case somebody grabbed your image. So I looked at it, and it in fact was one of my images that somebody had grabbed and used on their brochure, so I had to go through that process of contacting the person and so on. And it actually worked out okay at the end. However, that's to say how somebody was able to recognize my work out in the world and to say, oh, that's one of Sergio's works, right? Or it looks very close to Sergio's works, and I was able to do that. And that's exactly, the idea of going deep versus wide, right? Of really creating a body of work over time, a certain aesthetic, a certain way of working that people can recognize. Now, at the same time, not every artist can do that. Not every artist, is interested in that. Not every artist, kind of has that desire. There are artists out there, and maybe that's where you land today, where you feel like you just can't do that, right? You have many ideas, you have many things that you want to try, many things that you want to do, many things that attract you, and you may be jumping from one thing to another. And I have come across with many artists like that. I have helped many artists like that also in the Art Next Level Academy, to kind of be able to make sense out of that. And so what I want to help you out with today is first to tell you that as an artist, you can do whatever you want, right? As an artist, you have license to create what you wish, what you want. You have that license because it's your work, it's your life. You can do whatever you want, right? It's you make those choices. Having said that, I know that every choice that we make has consequences, right? And I think we all know that from our experience of life. That means in the world today, the way it exists, right? When you look at social media, when you look at the way we consume information and content and so on, right? If you have a certain aesthetic that you continue to follow through, a certain style that you continue to develop over time, the more people see it, the more people will start to recognize it and associate it with you, particularly something that, becomes more and more unique, more personalized to who you are, to the way you think, to the way you create. And the reality is that people, will begin to recognize that over time, and that works in your benefit. That works in your benefit. When collectors see your work, they will recognize it as you. So if you are an artist who can do that, and like I said, that's your choices have consequences. If you cannot do that and you don't want to do that, because you can, you're an artist and you can decide those things, then what I recommend that you do to go around that and to make yourself visible in the world today is maybe find a way to organize the things that you create and how you present them in the world, right? So in other words, maybe you enjoy and you love to do landscapes, landscape painting, but then you also love to do watercolor portraits, right? And maybe you also love to do wire sculptures, right? And maybe jewelry, just to add one more to the thing. And each one, as you create it, doesn't look very cohesive together, right? I mean, the style that you use in your paintings is a bit different from the style that you use in your watercolors, and definitely the jewelry is something way different. So, because, by the way, before I continue, there are many artists who work in various mediums, but then as they transition to different mediums, there's still a certain stylization, a certain aesthetic that is connected. But if you seem to have a hard time doing that, then how you present it to the world, then that's the part that you can control. So what you can do is, let's say, in your website, you would organize things by medium or style, or the different styles that you're creating. So you have, a section for your collection of landscape paintings and a section for your collection of watercolor portraits, so that you don't have it all mixed up together. When you post on your Instagram, maybe you can actually describe yourself as an artist who creates, landscape painting, portraits, and jewelry, So that's how you're describing yourself, and that's what you do. So when somebody looks and reads at your profile, they immediately know, okay, that's what this artist is making. And then the way you present it out in the world, as you post, maybe, for example, post things in batches, do 3-4 paintings, right, that kind of go well together, and then 3-4 of the portraits, watercolor portraits that work well together, and then 3 or 4 of your jewelry work that goes well together. So they are in clusters of visual information. So as we see your work, it starts to make sense, versus jumping back and forth. In other words, you gotta find a way to be able to present your work in a way that is organized, right? That it has some sense of organization. Again, if you cannot follow a thread of connectivity between the different works, know that it's going to be harder to get a follow, that's for sure. But again, that's your choice. You want to do that, that's fine, you can do it. Then what you can do, then rely on how you organize the information when you present it out to the world, so that you get better results when people are looking at your work, and when you're trying to move your art in the world as well. So hope this is helpful. Just a little bit of help for you today. Hope you have a great day. Please post your comments, questions under this video. We'd love to hear from you. Have an awesome and great day.